This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel this fine Tuesday. Now, obviously, you know what? Weekdays we're normally going pretty hard, just like on the weekend, but it is playoff season in slow pitch, so that means different times, different situations, and depends how late I stay at the Diamond. Well, tonight, out of the Diamond rather early, meaning we can get this video up and get it going before bedtime tonight, before a big day at work tomorrow. If you're new to the channel right now, I want you to hit that subscribe button. Come along on a crazy Oilers journey. You know what? 1920 was crazy. Just wait till 2021. Every season seems to get better yet. So let's all join in the fun, shall we? Because when Oilers land gets excited, we get excited. When we melt down, boy, do we melt down. Anyway, today, you know what, back on that trade talk, because that's about really the only fun thing to talk about at this point of the season. We find ourselves in a situation in which GM Ken Holland has declared no trades will happen until the postseason is done, and that pretty much rules out any excitement for us in terms of roster changes before the second week of October. Now, yes, he's already said, might move the first round pick. But the other side, too, is it's been reported that the Oilers might be open to moving two of their top four defensemen. Now, if you're like me, and you look at the Oilers' defense, and you say, well, defense was a problem in the playoffs. I don't know how moving two of your top four D-men is going to make you any better. You need to acquire someone. And there is a way to do this because potentially, right, you're looking to move up to two of your top four D-men. You're not looking to move both no matter what. You're looking to move up to two. That's kind of how I read that situation. So you could still be open to renovating the blue line. And a guy that we've already talked about, what's next for Chris Russell? Well, there's certain situations in which Chris Russell could find himself in a position of find that, I guess you could say, final contract. Because Chris Russell, a guy who's obviously gone through the rigors of the NHL for several years, 32, 33 now, and finds himself in a situation where he's a veteran guy, he's been to the playoffs 2 of the past 4 years, and really a guy that could add something to a team that needs that kind of veteran lay-it-on-the-line presence. And that team maybe perhaps has a young guy, 25 years old, named Rasmus Ristolainen, which we've already spoke of before. And of course, this is something, like I said, I have spoke of it last off-season, but this is something that Rugged English, I can bring up the comment. In fact, I will, because we got to do that. Bring that up before I bring up the trade, and then we'll get that going, because this is something, and I'll actually, because it's on the old video, and that's why I'm talking about it. Most of the stuff recently commented on videos I've ignored. Just simply put, I'm not ready to get back into the comment wars because, man, I was not impressed with where I was post playoff run. But Risto revisit, let me just rename that and then see if I can get that in a graphic for you here quickly. I've still got the Seattle Kraken jersey from way back when I was up in Cold Lake, lined up to come on out in a graphic on my program I use to do my live hot changes. Alright, that just kind of shows you how much production I've done since July. So this Rugged's comment, right, it's very basic, is talking about Risto to the Oilers and kind of would you be interested in trading him? Are you still at all still interested, I guess the question. And absolutely, right? I guess, end of the day, if I was interested last year, there's no reason not to be interested this year. And the only thing is, you look at Rugged's kind of question marks here is Athanasiou, Russell, and a conditional third. That's the only tough part. I get where you're coming from, right? You got to do it right, and obviously terms and stuff are easier to negotiate with conditional picks nowadays. But if you're the Edmonton Oilers, the only gripe I have with this whole trade is we don't have a second, third, fourth this year, and then we don't have a second and a fifth next year, and that's how we currently stand. I think it's kind of negotiable what you do with that third rounder this year or next year, but that's exactly why that doesn't exactly work, being a conditional pick. So yeah, you could choose a fifth, sixth, seventh, but end of the day, just choosing a pick doesn't doesn't float if I'm looking at what Ken Holland's done with the rest of our picks. That's just the way I'm looking, and especially with Athanasiou being involved in the trade, we traded 2 seconds for that. So, right, like the asset that is Athanasiou on an RFA expiring contract cost us 2 seconds. Kind of see, right? And I've already spoke my claim that Ken Holland will not lose on that deal, so you gotta hope he doesn't. So you kind of turn it around and you go over to this of what I've proposed in Cap Friendly, and of course I'll get you the cap numbers here in a second. You can take a look at that. So Chris Russell is a $4 million contract next year. That means Rasmus Ristolainen adds roughly 1.4 to the cap. However, re-signing Andre Athanasiou is going to cost you probably $2 million. So keep that in mind when you look at the way you do the math on that. 5.4 as opposed to a $2 million plus $4 million addition. You're saving $600,000 in cap, which is about that $600,000 you're losing in signing bonuses that somehow came up. You got to look into the TSN article for the explanation on that one. But Rasmus Ristolainen 5.4 steady through 2021, 2022. So you've got 2 more years of Ristolainen, and of course then he hits the UFA market. Now, here is why. Here's why this year I would really like this trade, okay? Now, this is quite literally the only reason I decided to bring this up as something. Not that it isn't something to explore, visit, revisit, anything like this. It is kind of following a trend, right? If you kind of looked at the Oilers offseason so far, the biggest news is trying to rope back Jesse Puljujärvi into Oilers uniform. Well, what's been probably the biggest knock against the Oilers when it comes to having Jesse Puljujärvi in an Oilers uniform, and a major contributor as to why he failed? Countrymen. Fellow countrymen on the team. Obviously, yeah, I think we had UC Oakland in 2018-19, but end of the day, our Finnish friends on the team, very far and few between, and very few for a guy like Jesse Puljujärvi to learn from. Now, obviously, yes, Rasmus Ristolainen, he's still a young guy, but that's where it almost works in the other way, is it gives Jesse Puljujärvi, if he does come back, a guy that gets what he's been through, gets kind of all of it, right? And he's just that much older to say, hey, head down, keep going. And that's exactly what a guy like Jesse Puljujärvi will need when he gets to the Oilers. He's a good buddy, but somebody that's able to be just that tough enough on him that it is able to work. And that's a whole nother angle that I don't think anybody really other than me maybe would have even considered on this. But that's fine. It's just something added into the fine print that helps this deal work. Now, the fine print I guess I threw in here is Ostap Safin's name. A guy that is scheduled to be full-time in Bakersfield come December 1st when the AHL launches their season, if they launch their season. Keep that in mind. Ostap Safin, as far as I don't know, I don't think he's on loan quite yet, but he should be on loan to the Czech leagues at some point here, if I haven't missed that in all my time off for slow pitch and family. So, Rasmus Ristolainen for Andre Athanasiou, Chris Russell, and Ostap Safin. You get that value added that the Buffalo Sabres are probably looking for. You get Andre Athanasiou, Chris Russell, and of course, if you missed Rugged's comment there, let me just get that back up for you. It is an endorsed, according to Rugged, by Melody Martin, who, if you don't know, gotta look her up. She's kind of Buffalo famous at this point for some of the stuff she's done following this another dumpster fire season from the Buffalo Sabres. So, looking at worse franchises than the Oilers aside, is this something you guys would consider, or is this something that, again, similar to last year, is hoper and dreamer talk and you're just not sure? maybe I should sell you a little bit on Rasmus Ristolainen's stats for the season. Let me get over to hockeyreference.com and let's figure this out a little bit here to see if I can tell you anything more about the 2014 rookie Rasmus Ristolainen, who had 33 points, a -2, and, well, of course, you know what? 6 goals, 27 assists, and 69 games played. So an 82 game average for Ristolainen would work out to 33 divided by 69 times 82. Just about 40 points for Ristolainen. That would be value added for sure. 4.7 shooting percentage, so a more than career average shooting percentage for Risto this season. And 22.48 time on ice. That really ain't that bad. 203 hits, so the guy knows how to throw the body. And oh yeah, in case you didn't know, he's 6'4", 218 pounds. So I'll leave you on this to consider tonight. I'm going to go head to bed, and we're going to get back to playing ball tomorrow night. And the only other thing I got to say is it's September. It's September baseball season. I'm not only playing slow pitch, but so are the Oilers. So are the Jays. So let's go Blue Jays. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I'm up on out of here.